Microbiome is an emerging field currently. It has huge opportunities of product development in the field of health in particular. In this sector, from a regulatory perspective, we can consider several possible statuses for those products that can be developed as drug products, but also as food products under several statuses, such as biologics products, small molecules, food supplements. We can consider a broad range of applications. All those status will depend upon a number of characteristics of the products, which are products such as the form of the product, its indication, the target population that will be considered, and all those parameters should be considered in order to define what is the appropriate status for this product. We have seen companies which have to delay the launch of their product because of a non-adequate initial positioning, which has consequences on the further development of the product. So the first step and our first recommendation is to carefully choose and identify the optimal pathway for a microbiome-related product. Currently, the regulatory framework for this product is not specifically adapted to microbiome products. We have a drug field, a drug regulatory field, and a food regulatory field, but each of them will present specific challenges in the field of microbiome all along the development pathway, from the quality assessment of the product, from the non-clinical and clinical assessment in terms of safety and efficacy on the human population. So all of these challenges will need to be specifically anticipated for microbiome products. We are currently missing specific orientation from the authorities because this is a new topic and there is no specific regulation on the topic yet. We've seen a beginning of evolution, in specific in the US, which developed the specific live biotherapeutic product status, which is specifically applying to probiotics. This is a guideline that we can expect to follow and that we can consider even for the EU market as an indication, a broad indication, even if it's not an official EU authorities requirement. We can expect further orientation from the authorities, and what can be done is to try and consult the authorities as soon as possible to discuss these specific issues all along the product development. Even at an early stage, it can be positive to exchange with the authorities to discuss on the better way and the better approach that would satisfy them in terms of requirements for the development of the product. Actually, quite similarly to what has been done with ATMPs, so this is an approach that should be considered really specific to each product. There is no really ready to go plan for these products, and you need to consider really what are the characteristics of your product, where you want to go in terms of development, what is your target, what is your market, and all of these parameters should be considered in order to establish the most appropriate roadmap, I would say, and to anticipate the specific challenges that will have to be faced in terms of development. And anticipating those requirements can also turn into an advantage in terms of competition and, well, easier access to the market. So our recommendation from what we've seen in the past is to clearly identify as soon as possible the most appropriate status and roadmap for a microbiome-related product, can be a food or drug. And depending on the status, we would recommend, of course, identifying the most appropriate roadmap and identifying as soon as possible the specific challenges and the specific steps of development that will have to be challenged in order to have the easiest and the optimal pathway to access the market more easily and more efficaciously.